Assalam, Assalamu alaikum friends. Now we see the last document in the procurement cycle, which is the invoice. And in this video, we shall demo the display of vendor invoice. So again, I keep it on to you people to search for the easy access menu path. The T code is Miro. Remember the T code for goods receipt was Migo, which was a generic T code to record any material movement, and for the invoice it is Miro. Keep in mind that this is not our invoice, this is a vendor invoice, so we usually say it is an invoice verification, incoming invoice, right? So by default, through this T code we can enter an incoming invoice, but the system also allows us to display an existing invoice. So if we want to display the invoice, we need to go to other invoice document, and over there, so the system pops up with a window of invoice document number and fiscal year. So if we know the invoice document number, we can just type the invoice document number here with the fiscal year and press continue. Unlike other T codes like purchase requisition, purchase order, and GR, where we can actually search for a document if we don't have a document number, uh, SAP doesn't provide this functionality at the invoice level. So this is probably their shortcoming. Maybe in the next version they might come up with making it up. So anyway, we don't have any search facility, so we must know the invoice number before actually using this T code. So if we don't know the invoice number, of course the invoice is in the chain of documents, which is actually followed by GR, and GR is actually followed by purchase order, and purchase order is actually a following document of PR. So PR, PO, GR, and invoice. So we can go to just PO and see the invoice number from there. So we continue here, and we are taken to this screen where, again, let's go to the top. So we have a document header here, and we can collapse it, we can hide it, and then we have the 9 items, and there is no detail over here. So in the header we can see that this is an invoice, this is the relevant invoice number, this is the fiscal year. And of course, whenever an invoice comes, it is actually from a vendor, so this is the vendor address and vendor ID, etc. And these are the document date and the posting date and the invoice amount and other header related information, including of course the company code here. And when we come over here, we can see that there are two items being invoiced in this particular invoice. So first item was corresponding to purchase order number 243, and the amount was 2400. The item number and details are probably not shown here. So although the quantities are shown, but the exact material number, so this is the material number which is invoiced. So this is our material number, and again there is no material description probably. So many other things are there. So let's focus on the amount. So the first line item for which the 60 units were delivered, the amount is 2400, and for second line item in the invoice, for 150 units, the amount is 3750. So this is the description of from the material from the PO text, and this is the corresponding PO number. So this way we can actually display an invoice if we want, and of course right from here we can tunnel into the purchase order number if we want. If we just click here, the system will take us, click or double click, the system might take us to the purchase order. So this is the purchase order, and this is the corresponding invoice number and corresponding GR number, which is in the purchase order history tab. We can see item by item. So we go back, and so as we know that a vendor invoice is also it does result in an accounting entry in SAP system. So if we want to see the corresponding accounting entry, accounting document, we just can go here on the following documents and just call the document, and the system will take us to the corresponding accounting entry. So you see, this is the corresponding accounting entry. Olympic Protective Gear, which is the name of the vendor, is being credited, and GRIR account is being debited. So you can see the details of this entries in my another video, which is the query, a video which is there in the system, in my playlist, and also on my channel. So that's it. We can also see the vendor open items here. Recall from our accounting SAP videos and discussions that open items means those vendor items which have not yet been paid, or if they so we can just call open items here. So for this particular vendor, there are almost 4 open items right now, right? It means these are the items which has either have not been paid, or if the payment is made, then there is no corresponding GR. So a debit exists, then the credit is missing, credit exists, then the debit is missing. So we go back. And that's it. This was the only few things we need to know in the invoice. And thank you.